Right now, the UW system is looking to increase tuition for the next school year. How much it could go up and why the UW system president says it'll keep schools competitive.
Also, the Madison School District looking for a new bus provider. Why now was the time for a change?
And later, looking back at UW-Madison's legacy with the Peace Corps. We hear from a familiar face about his service with them. Welcome to News 3 Now. Students across the entire UW system may be facing a significant tuition increase if a proposal floated today is approved by the Board of Regents.
That could mean hundreds or even thousands more coming out of students' pockets, as political reporter Will Keneally explains.
5%. That's the number that UW System President Jay Rothman wants to take to the Board of Regents. He says it's crucial to keep the state and the university competitive.
In short, the war for talent is real, and it is urgent.
The route to win that war, says Rothman, is in part through the state's university system, which is why he's rolling out a plan to raise tuition by 5%.
This modest tuition increase will help our universities continue to provide students with a world-class education, produce the talent that Wisconsin's workforce needs to succeed, and spark innovation and vitality in our communities.
Tuition has been frozen for UW system schools since 2013. Initially, the legislature set the tuition freeze, but turned that power over to the Board of Regents, which voted last year to keep that freeze in place.
I was expecting a tuition raise.
Representative Dave Murphy chairs the Assembly Committee on Universities, where today's news was broken. He's circulating a bill right now that would cap tuition increases for the UW system to any increases of inflation. Last year, that was more than 6%.
With the inflation of our current federal administration being so high, this has become, 5% is a little bit more reasonable than it certainly would have been.
What this means for the bottom line, a 5% tuition increase would mean an extra roughly $500 for in-state students at UW-Madison, or close to $2,000 for those out of state. Rothman says that this is important for the state's bottom line.
Unless we act very soon as a state, a shrinking workforce will bring a corresponding decline in economic prosperity.
Rothman says he'll take this proposal to the next Board of Regents meeting, scheduled for the end of this month. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Governor Tony Evers is calling for selling a historic state office building near the state capitol, as well as 2 other large office buildings. The proposal is part of a larger plan to combine state offices in Madison to save money. The buildings in question are the State Education Building, the State Natural Resources Building, and the State Office Building at 1 West Wilson. The proposal is included in Evers' capital budget request and would need approval from the Republican-controlled legislature. Meanwhile, in Glendale, car owners are being reunited with their vehicles after the Bayshore Mall parking garage partially collapsed a week ago. Engineers approved the process for owners of trapped cars on the 2nd level with the help of a temporary ramp that connects the 1st and 2nd levels of the garage. 56 vehicles were trapped when the collapse happened. All cars on the 2nd level are expected to be removed by the end of the day tomorrow. And let's check your first warn forecast now with Julian C. Wright.
Well, things have stayed cloudy throughout the course of our Thursday, but as we continue throughout the rest of tonight, well, we may see a couple of breaks in that cloud cover. Right now, you can see far and beyond how much that clouds are just being really stubborn throughout much of the area. But moving ahead, what we're going to start to see, well, it's really going to see temperatures dropping, not only just from the later parts of the upper 30s, but we're going to start to see those 20s heading into tonight as well. But one thing we're going to also be mindful of is just the temperatures not really being the biggest story for us. Heading into our Friday, we do have some opportunities for us to start to see a little bit of some rain starting to develop for us. But tonight, mostly cloudy, going to stay on the colder side, upper 20s. And then for much of southern Wisconsin, we'll see those lower 30s around Janesville and for Monroe, but the upper 20s will stay for most of us. So just a few degrees shy of the freezing point, which is rather typical for this time of the year. Now, as we get a look at what else we're going to see, not just from our Friday, but heading into our weekend forecast, we do have some other changes to be talking about, and we'll be sure to break that down for you in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. 1 person is dead, 2 others seriously injured after a vehicle crashed into a tree on Gammon Road this afternoon. Madison fire officials say all 3 victims were inside the vehicle when it crashed just south of Watts Road. 2 passengers were taken to the hospital, 1 with life-threatening injuries. A third was found dead at the scene. It's unclear what led to that crash. Police are asking businesses in the area for video of the moments leading to the crash.
A Milwaukee community is demanding change after a 31-year-old transgender woman was shot and killed over the weekend. The death of Cachet Henderson marks the fourth black transgender woman to be killed in Milwaukee in the last 9 months. Last night, just outside the Milwaukee LGBT Community Center, dozens of people gathered to remember the names of Milwaukee trans women who've been killed over the years. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson also in attendance, calling for the protection of the LGBTQIA community.
We must take every reasonable step to protect transgender people and the entire LGBTQ+ community in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin, throughout the nation, and indeed throughout the world.
A suspect in Henderson's death was arrested on Tuesday.
Lake Mills Police Department asking for people to keep an eye out for counterfeit money. According to them, there have been several incidents within the community and the surrounding areas where fake money has been used in retail transactions. Now, they offer some tips to check if a bill is fake. Always use a counterfeit pen. A majority of the time, it will detect starches in the counterfeit paper. Have real money ready to verify bills side by side. They say the counterfeit bills found have been different in size and to real money, the actual paper size. So keep an eye out for people also using large bills for small purchases.
The Madison Metropolitan School District's contract with Badger Bus is nearly up. That means the district is looking into its next provider and is trying to fix problems going forward. Our Catherine Merck has the story.
MMSD tells me there's a couple of reasons why it decided to go forward with a potential change in their bus company.
Ultimately, our job is to ensure that our kids get from point A to point B safely and quickly as possible.
The reason for the change? The contract was up. The district says it's required by law to take their contract out to bid. First student, who gave the lowest bid, ended up moving forward with the district over Badger Bus, the district's last bus company. Today, I asked the district about some of our previous reporting on Badger Bus. I asked about issues in the past of students being dangerously left places they weren't supposed to be, and bus driver shortages with the company. The district told me those were some of the factors it's considering in its next contract negotiations.
We've asked our potential bus providers who submitted bids to put things in there that will support incidences like this, that they never happen again. Picture how that parent thinks in regards toward a child being potentially lost or didn't get on the bus or didn't get off the bus.
MMSD tells me the decision isn't final yet and they're still in contract negotiations with this new company. However, it is likely that middle and elementary school students will experience the new buses as soon as the fall. Reporting in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
We also reached out to Badger Bus for comment, but have yet to hear back.
In the 6 decades since President John F. Kennedy first created the Peace Corps, UW-Madison has sent nearly 3,400 Peace Corps volunteers abroad. That's the second most of any university in the nation. Our Braden Ross spoke with one of those volunteers who is a familiar face for many of us about his service. Braden?
Yeah, former Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle was in high school when President Kennedy first created the Peace Corps 62 years ago this week. By the time he was graduating from UW-Madison, he, like many of his fellow Badgers, had his eye on an adventure. In 1967, Doyle and his wife Jessica served 2 years teaching English in Tunisia. He says he's proud to be one of many UW alums who have answered President Kennedy's call to service.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, this is a university, Madison, that has been devoted towards public service. It's been very much a part of the culture and what's really made the University of Wisconsin-Madison such a really special, unique place.
Between 2017 and 2020, UW-Madison was #1 in sending volunteers abroad. And the Peace Corps paused in-country operations during the pandemic in 2020, but as of last summer, Badgers are now back in the field.
Coming up, how a new project in northern Wisconsin looks to help the environment through the use of a landfill.
Plus, how Madison School District students can get some help with college costs thanks to the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County in partnership with Madison College. Stay with us.
Earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend. That's a 30-cent fuel saver this Saturday and Sunday. Only at Hy-Vee.
Mad City, a division of Renuity, the local service you deserve, now backed by unmatched national strength. We are Wisconsin's #1 remodeler. Take a look at our new Eco Sky windows featuring Sky Mirror technology with layers of low E for year-round comfort, 114% more airtight than the average window. And with Mad City's price lock guarantee, once you receive a free design consultation, we'll lock your price in and guarantee it for 1 year. Save during our Spring into Savings event. Receive $1,500 off a house full of new windows, 48 months, 0 interest senior military discounts, plus a bonus. The first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new windows, used for condo, hotel stay, or even a cruise. From Madison and South Central Wisconsin, call 608-338-1616. Here's that number again, 608-338-1616.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend. That's a 30-cent fuel saver this Saturday and Sunday. Only at Hy-Vee.
And some breaking news just into the newsroom from South Carolina. The jury in the Alex Murdaugh murder trial has unanimously found him guilty for killing his wife and son back in June of 2021. They were found dead at the prominent South Carolina lawyer's estate. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Prosecutors have accused him of killing them and to keep years of embezzlement from being exposed. His defense team has contended the investigation was flawed from the start.
The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County and Madison College are teaming up to support student success with a new program called TOPS Plus. The program helps eligible students who've graduated high school while they pursue an associate degree at Madison College. Students will benefit with a scholarship to cover tuition and mandatory fees after financial aid for incoming eligible students and a dedicated advisor.
This evolution of our partnership will allow us to provide the student participants with the supports, services, and guidance they need to complete a degree or a credential here at Madison College.
Other benefits include $250 each semester for staying on track, a free Madison Metro bus pass, free e-textbooks, book rentals, and support for other required class supplies. TOPS Plus was made possible by a $1.5 million commitment from businesswoman and philanthropist Mary Burt.
Up in northern Wisconsin, Marathon County is looking to do its part to help the environment with a renewable natural gas project. Construction of the project just started at the Marathon County Solid Waste Department's landfill in Ringgold. The county is partnering with Verity Energy, a renewable natural gas company, to make it happen.
Captures all of that, separates the methane from all the stuff that you don't want, and keeps that methane. We put it in the grid, and then that'll get used.
It's estimated 3 million gallons of gas per year will be offset by turning methane into renewable energy. After the break, a proposed gas station drawing a lot of excitement around the Madison area. We hear from some diehard fans of Buc-ee's on why it's so beloved.
Plus, a heartwarming story you don't want to miss as a U.S. Army sergeant and his family get the surprise of a lifetime.
And Julian returns, a complete look at your forecast coming up.
Make a difference in the world.
Be a mentor.
Young people need a positive role model to succeed and navigate life's challenges. Learn about mentorship opportunities at unitedmadison.com/mentoring. Brought to you by Fearing's Audio Video Security and United Madison.
Are you constantly having to dust and wipe down window seals? The problem could be the gaps around your old windows. Eliminate that problem with new Eco Sky windows from Mad City Windows, 114% more airtight than the average window. And now during our Spring into Savings event, receive $1,500 off a house full of new windows, 48 months, 0 interest, plus a bonus. The first 50 homeowners who call now receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new windows, used for condo, hotel stay, or a cruise.
Extremist Dan Kelly wants abortion banned, even in cases of rape, incest, and the health of the mother. For years, Kelly was on the payroll of a radical anti-abortion group working to take away women's rights. On the court, Kelly will uphold Wisconsin's 1849 criminal abortion ban that strips women of their freedom to make personal decisions on abortion. Dan Kelly, an extremist who doesn't care about us.
For the first time in 25 years, the Doobie Brothers, Tom Johnston, Michael McDonald, Pat Simmons, and John McPhee, 50th Anniversary Tour. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Doobie Brothers. Great Stevens Field, June 21st. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by FPC Live.
Make a difference in the world.
Be a mentor.
Young people need a positive role model to succeed and navigate life's challenges. Learn about mentorship opportunities at unitedmadison.com/mentoring. Brought to you by Fearing's Audio Video Security and United Madison.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
A U.S. Army sergeant and his family are right at home in Windsor, literally. That is after they were surprised with a brand new mortgage-free home today. Sergeant Tori Honda served in the Army for almost 7 years and was involved in combat in Afghanistan and Iraq during 4 different periods. Now medically retired from service, Honda, his wife Maricela, and 2 children were looking for a more tranquil place to live after being in a loud and crowded city. The life-changing surprise came courtesy of Operation Finally Home, along with Tim O'Brien Homes and Structural Building Components Association.
I want to thank, like I said, everybody here, Tim O'Brien, Operation Finally Home, SPCA, all of them. I want to just thank everybody. I really have no words to describe it.
Moving forward, Honda would like to work as a gunsmith and to teach handgun classes.
Trending today, plans for a new mega travel center in DeForest. Buc-ee's. It is a Texas favorite. The proposal to the DeForest Planning Commission says it would feature 120 gas pumps, 613 parking spaces, and a 73,000 square foot store. It would be the first Buc-ee's in the state. Our morning team met up with some Texas friends who cannot pass a Buc-ee's without stopping. He asked them what makes Buc-ee's such a big deal.
You can get brisket sandwiches in the afternoon, in the morning. You can get breakfast tacos, sausages, sausage biscuits, and they've got a full on they've got fudge and the
fudge.
whole.
Oh, the fudge is delicious. Yes. You could also, I know a lot of people who do all of their Christmas shopping in Buc-ee's. Like cookbooks.
Our neighbors actually do that.
Our neighbors do that, yeah. Cookbooks, they have drinkware, they have candles, they have home decor. It is just amazing, and your lives are about to be changed forever.
I was trying to think of that little Bucky Beaver was a puppet doing the talking there. We've linked the full proposal online. Just look for that story at channel3000.com. Well, we have maybe dodged this latest snowstorm. Julian has a complete forecast.
That's right. So we're now looking at things to be really downgraded for us as we get into our Friday. So let's start off with our weather headlines. The 3 things that we're going to need to know as we get into the rest of tonight, Friday, and for the weekend. We could still see some snow, some rain, but it's going to be very isolated and not much to be accumulating. But we could see some wetter roads as we get into our Friday evening. Outside of that, folks, be prepared for more 40s heading into this weekend. Some sunshine, some cloudy conditions, but rain showers are going to be in our forecast. Once again, getting into our Saturday evenings and for our Sunday as well, transitioning into our Monday. Before tonight's temperatures around southern Wisconsin from Dane County and north, we're going to be into the upper 20s. Around 31 degrees for Janesville and about 29 for Platteville. But for tonight's, the skies are going to be pretty much covered by clouds. As we head into tomorrow, it's virtually going to be the same. Cloud cover is going to stick around for us. Still going to be rather stubborn throughout much of southern Wisconsin, but we're going to see those lower 40s, mid 40s from Prairie du Chien over towards Lone Rock, and 41 degrees for Platteville and for Janesville alike. And for Madison, we're looking around 38 degrees to be our high. Now, we did dodge any kind of real accumulating snowfall, and we had taken the alert day out of the forecast. Now, here, the First One Weather Team, we like to be transparent as to what goes into our forecast and why we make such changes. Well, what had changed was that the storm track in itself had went south. So south that it's barely even going to be hitting the southern Wisconsin area. So now we're looking for it to really be more of a rain event or even a light snow event for us here in southern Wisconsin, which could just lead to some areas, especially southeast of Madison, to see a bit of some wet roads. But overall, it's not going to be of disruptive impact for us as we get into our Friday afternoon and evening, as we once thought going into our Monday and for our Tuesday. So now we're going to be looking at, from our future track perspective, might see a couple of some light showers rolling in once we get to our Friday afternoon. Around lunchtime hour, those temperatures will slide into the middle to upper 30s. But again, any kind of snowfall in itself is mainly going to be to the east and for the southeast, from Waukesha over towards Kenosha, if we're going to see really anything in terms of precipitation. Now, moving into how much snow we are going to be looking for, again, as you can see throughout much of the western side and northern side, barely anything. But into that far southeastern corridor, from Milwaukee towards Kenosha, maybe an inch, maybe two, but overall, we're not going to be looking at this to be much in terms of any snowfall. Now, getting into our weekend, 44 degrees for Saturday and for Sunday. We're also looking around 47 degrees, but we do have some opportunities to see some showers for our Saturday afternoon and evening and for our Sunday night as well. So that's one thing we're going to be watching for, is more rain and potentially some snow for some areas, mainly going to be near the Dells. Otherwise, we're looking at a pretty decent forecast in terms of it's just being rather smooth. Not a whole lot of storms in our forecast as of right now. This weekend will lead the charge of 40s heading into next week, but then we're going to see a cold front bringing in those 30s and potentially seeing a little bit more activity heading into next weekend.
We have a program alert for tomorrow. The UW women's hockey team will be on TV Wisconsin tomorrow for the WCHA semifinals. The team will be taking on Minnesota at 5 p.m. The winner of that game will advance to the finals to face the winner of Ohio State and Minnesota Duluth, which will also be televised at 1 p.m. To find TV Wisconsin, just go to channel 3.2 over the air or channel 14 on DirecTV and Spectrum.
And coming up in sports, Oregon boys hockey making history at the state tournament. How the Panthers pounced in their semifinal game. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
The acid reflux felt like just the worst burning in your throat that you can imagine. It's almost like a fire in your throat. The LINX procedure was one of the best decisions I've made. It has changed my life, and the burning is gone.
Reducing high energy cost is easy with new Eco Sky windows from Mad City. Our windows feature Sky Mirror technology to minimize air leaks and give your home an energy upgrade. Plus, wood grains on the inside and any color you want on the outside will make it. And remember, with our price lock guarantee, we'll guarantee your price for 1 year. Don't miss your window of opportunity to save during our Spring into Savings event. Receive $1,500 off a house full of new windows, 48 months, 0 interest, senior military discounts, plus last chance to call during this program for the bonus. The first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new windows, used for condo, hotel stay, or a cruise. From Madison and South Central Wisconsin, call 608-338-1616. Here's that number again, 608-338-1616.
Team, I need a volunteer. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes promotional product success easy. For high-quality items, go to 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Surgenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
The local water experts at Culligan can take care of everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, we do that too. Culligan, here for every water worry.
The LINX device stops reflux by using magnets to strengthen the muscle at the end of the esophagus, and this prevents acid from flowing from the stomach back into the esophagus.
Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
It's Girl Scout cookie time in the 608.
Tomorrow we'll tempt you with old favorites and find out what's new.
And we'll see if we have any impacts from the storm passing to our south tomorrow. Join us tomorrow morning between 4:30 and 7.
And just like that, it's the final home game of the regular season for the Wisconsin men. And this one's going to be a tough one with 5th-ranked Purdue coming to the Kohl Center tonight. And that's where we find our own Jordan Reed. But before the game, Jordan, there's a big celebration going on for one of the Badgers.
That's right, Zach. It is going to be a special night for Tyler Wall. In about an hour, the team captain is going to be honored for Senior Day. And the spotlight is going to solely be on him since he's the only senior on the squad this season. Now, Wall's career in red and white began 4 years ago. 119 games played. He has started 78 of them. During that time, racking up 887 points. And as for this season, he's averaging over 11 points and 6 boards per game. But those are just stats. His contributions go far beyond the court. These last 2 years, he's really become the program's anchor, or as Greg Gard calls him, the glue guy.
He epitomizes, what you think of, just blue collar, tough, hard nosed. He's a Swiss Army knife defensively. In terms of his ability to guard multiple positions, I think his leadership ability has grown as he's become more comfortable in that role. Still, he leads best by example. His work ethic on the court, his work ethic in the weight room is elite, and that shows with how he's developed as a player.
Wall still has an extra year of eligibility, but he hasn't said yet what he plans to do. Now, tip-off with Purdue is coming up at 8. We're going to have highlights later at 10. Zach?
Thanks, Jordan. What a year it's been for the Oregon boys hockey team. Not only did they finally get over that sectional final hump, but this trip to state is the Panthers' first in school history. And, now that they're here, they've got plans to play 2 games. Mosinee standing in their way in the Division II semifinals. First period, Oregon on the power play, and they'd cash in. Andrew Jakey finds Jacob Cameron, and the lamp is lit. Panthers led 1-0 after 1. Second period, the best goal scorer in the state would add to that lead. Jakey scores on the one-timer, and Oregon shuts out Mosinee 3-0. They'll face New Richmond Saturday morning in the finals. On the girls' side, Madison Metro hosting Bay Area in their semifinal matchup. Not even 3 minutes in, the Ice Bears struck. Faye Brunke cleans up the mess in front of the net to make it 1-0 Bay Area. Now it's 2-0 in the second. And here comes Madison Metro. Emma Stevens, no, but Leah Grodzinski is there to tap it in. Wouldn't be enough. Lynx fall 4-1, the final.
All right, let's go to Julian. One final check of the forecast.
Well, it won't be too bad going into our Friday, but still could have some wet areas just near Janesville area. But outside of that, enjoy these 40-degree temperatures heading into the weekend.
All right, Julian, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.